Well, right now I'm on my way to drop the car off at Road Ford to finally get that differential work done. I fear that the issue or the convincing part is not over, that I still have an upward battle to wage. But at least they agreed to take a second look, actually a third look, and we'll go from there. I'll be at Road Ford in just a little while. Okay, so I guess
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Doc's Boost. I know if you're a follower of Doc's Boost and you live in the neighborhood, you might see something like this as I leave the house. Something that we've all grown to love is that GT500 sound and that GT500 look. Not to mention the GT500 ride. But today, this is what you see as I leave the house. Not quite the same. I think we could all agree on that. If you're an avid Doc's Boost follower, then you're used to watching scenes like this. But today, you see scenes like this. Or scenes like this. Instead of scenes like this.
it's because after I dropped it off for warranty work on the differential, they left it sit for almost 2.5 weeks trying to determine who's going to pay for it. Yeah, let that sink in for a couple more moments. It's warranty work. They've been in the differential 3 times in less than a year, and I still have differential noise whining, and they move it from co-side to drive side with a lot of vibration afterward, and they're still wondering whether or not I should pay for it. So, the first service writer, he's gone. He got fired for lying. The second service writer, he's gone. I don't know what happened there. The first service manager that was involved with my car in these 5 weeks, he left. He's the one who pretty much held my car for ransom, said he wasn't even going to try to fix it again unless I paid for the bill a second time. The second service manager is the one I'm dealing with now, and she's a little reluctant to want to do anything. She's actually handed it over to the service director, and I've had conversations with the service director about 3.5, 4 weeks in, and it took me about a week of convincing him that he needs to go in there and take care of this for me under warranty. And part of the reason why he agreed to it is because of all the things I did that you're going to see when you watch this video. And just a few days after the service director was convinced and agreed to go ahead and do it under warranty and take care of me, he quit. And now it got shoved back into the service manager's lap again. And she kept it on her desk for about 4 or 5 days before she would even look at it. Then I got the facility's general manager involved, and he put the word down, take care of this guy, get the job done, give him back his car. And that was about a week ago. So I expect to get my car back in about a week. So here we are, 5 weeks in, and we're going to get my car back in about a week, at least that's what they said. And this video is all about what took place before I dropped it off. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I know it gets a little complicated, but it's a great story. Stick with me here for a little bit. It all started back in December 2017 when I actually spun the rear axle flange right off the axle shaft. My right rear tire passed me right up, and that was one hell of an experience. Kind of scary. Hope it never happens to you. So, the Ford dealer got the car, they disassembled the differential, and started the work.
During that process, I decided to go to 373 gears instead of the 355s. And I also decided that I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a carrier issue failure or it locked up one side and not the other for whatever reason. And decided to say, hey, don't you think we should put a new carrier in there? Well, they kind of agreed with that. That might be a good idea, although we couldn't really tell whether the old one was good or bad. But they didn't have one in stock. And so in order to get the car repair moving forward, I called up American Muscle and they sent me one via SVT Performance Team in Livonia, Michigan, a new carrier for my car, and I provided that to the local Ford dealer and they assembled everything. I wasn't quite sure that they were going to be able to give me that back without any kind of a gear noise. But hey, I was surprised. They did. They delivered it perfect. Didn't no noise whatsoever, and I was so happy. And for 10 months, it went great. I drove that car from, I think I got it back in February of 2018, actually, and I drove it till November of 2018, and it then developed a coast side whine, a real heavy whine, and took it right back to the Ford dealer, and they went for a ride, and sure enough, they heard that sound. They put it up in the air, and they took it apart, inspected it, and they said, hey, this is what we found, and we think that the carrier failed, and we need to replace the carrier.
And it comes to no surprise that they really pointed a finger at the carrier, because remember at the beginning of this, and I told you they didn't have one in stock, so I went to SVT Performance. A Ford product was sent to me from Ford, SVT Performance, and I provided that part to them. But I know how the game works. If I provide the part, they can't warranty it. I'm well aware of that, so I'm playing the game, and I agreed, okay, I'll pay for that part. If you can get one in here, I'll pay for that, but I don't pay for the rest of it, right? And they agreed, yes. As a matter of fact, the conversation went over and over and over again, and I had him agree three times, that I will not pay anything above that $800 carrier price for the repair.
I got skeptical that if all they did was go in and replace the carrier, they weren't going to fix the problem.
Well, as it turns out, that's not exactly how it all came down.
Because when they got done with that repair, sure enough, they called me on the phone and said, hey, we're done with the repair, but it didn't solve the problem. I said, well, what are we going to do now? We got to go back in there because I certainly can't drive it that way.
They still wanted to charge me the whole price, the $2,600 and change price. And I said, but wait a minute, how can you charge me for work that you did? And they would say, well, it's your part, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, wait a minute, all I agreed to, I was agreeing to just paying for the $800 carrier, not all that. As a matter of fact, your guy told me 3 times that I wasn't going to pay for anything if they didn't fix the problem. So they called that guy into the office with me and the service manager, and that guy lied straight-faced right to me and right to the service manager. And oh, by the way, the guy didn't work there anymore.
So anyway, the bottom line was that they weren't even going to step forward and go in there the second time without me paying the bill first, which was totally outrageous. But my car was being held for ransom. I mean, I was kind of stuck at the time, so I paid the bill. And they just kept the car and went in there for the second time. This time they were changing the gear set and all the bearings. So after the second time in, and they called me in and they say, hey, we're all done with this. Come pick up the car. And this time there was no charge, because actually they already charged me, you know, that twice for that same repair. But anyway, so here's the deal. I got the car, took it out for a test drive, and I really didn't hear anything on that first test drive. So after a couple of days of being gone with the car, I came back. And I said, hey, we got a problem. We got a drive side wind instead of the coast side wind. So you shifted it from one side to the other side of the gear. So the service manager said she was going to go for a ride with me.
The test drive that I did take the service manager and one of their lead technicians on.
What kind of tires do you have? Well, I don't hear much because of all the shaking going on when you let off the gas.
We only hear the exhaust. As soon as you accelerate, you get a little bit of whine, and you can hear you can feel the vibration when you let off.
When I gave them the car originally back in November, all I had was a coast side wind. But when they finally gave it back to me, not only did I have a drive side wind, but I also, it speeds above 80 miles an hour. When you let off the gas, the whole car just shook. It's like it was gonna just shake itself apart. Dashboards, door panels, everything was shaking. There was vibrating going on everywhere. And it was insane, and that's why I drove right over to him and said, hey, we've got a problem. Well, how do you know it's the gears? This car's shaking like crazy. Duh, it didn't shake before you had it. That's why I'm here. That's why we're having this test drive. That's why I'm talking to you now. As frustrated as I got, we went straight back to the dealership. They were definitely not happy with Doc, right? And who's not happy with Doc, right? Hey, but anyway. So they said, hey, well, all we can do now is we're going to just have to wait for the regional guy to come around and go for a ride with you. And that might take a while. We'll let you know. Now, it's almost the holidays, so it might take a while, they said. But we'll let you know. And I decided that during that time frame of waiting, I was going to make sure that I went through everything in the car to ensure the fact that when he got in the car and took a test drive with me, the only noise left and the only possible resolution could be is, yes, you have a drive side wind, and we will take care of that under warranty. And that was my goal. Some of the things that I'm going to take care of to make sure that the guys at Ford can't blame anything else for the noises, vibrations, and gear noise that I hear. I'm going to make sure that the tires are okay, the brakes are okay, the drive shaft, the aluminum one-piece drive shaft is okay and in balance. I'm going to make sure all my control arms and control arm bushings are in good shape for the rear end. And from there, we'll see what gets eliminated along the way and what gets left over. Anything left over, I would think that then that belongs to the differential and the differential workmanship. I had to make sure the tires were good. I had to make sure the drive line wasn't vibrating, because you know I had that aluminum drive shaft put in. Remember the video when I installed the drive line? And then you remember the video when I had the driveline balanced. You remember that video, right?
That's right.
I just wanted to make sure it was still in balance, so I was going to go ahead and check that. There's a little bit of a clunking noise that I heard in the back occasionally, so I was going to go make sure that we took care of that. And the first stop is going to be going to the tire store to make sure all the tires are in great shape, and if not, take care of whatever issue they find, including balancing everything out to a T.
All right, here we are at Discount Tires. So, Jason, what are we going to do on the car today?
We're going to replace the driver's side front tire and rebalance them all.
Perfect. So we're going to eliminate the tire issues, definitely from whatever Ford can blame as far as vibrations go. So let's get her done, all right?
Let's do it.
So it's done already?
Done already. Everything's
All right.
good to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, bye. All right, the tires are all taken care of. Still has that vibration, same one. So we know it's not tires. When I let off on the gas right there, got that vibration, and the vibration is everywhere. You can feel it in the car, you feel it in the wheel, feel it in my butt. And I have the dampening adjusted on the shocks and struts all the way out 6 turns. So it's not too stiff to just bounce around all over the place and create vibrations. Let's get on down to Phoenix rack and axle, and we'll go from there. On my first attempt to get to rack and axle, I had a low pressure sensor indicator pop up. Turns out I had caught a razor blade in my left rear tire. A little bit of a delay, but the tire store is close to home, almost there already. Well, it looks like I picked up a razor blade in the tire, of all things. Wait till my son finds out that it was one of his razor blades, because he was just into that razor blade thing in my driveway 2 days ago.
Good.
Make sure he picks up his stuff and doesn't leave any screws, nuts, bolts, anything at all that can cause a tire hazard in my driveway. He always laughs it off. Damn that Murphy. I'm still on my quest. I just got delayed. Let's get on down to Phoenix rack and axle, and we'll go from there. We're at Phoenix rack and axle.
Okay. But I want to go for a drive first. Make sure that's what it feels like.
All right. And Bernie's just about to get the car up on the hoist to take a look at that Driveline.
I don't feel like there's any movement there though.
Okay. I should let you know that the first test drive we went on, definitely heard the whine, definitely felt vibrations. He's got a sensitive ass just like mine. And so we're going to take care of that, the weight that's missing on the Driveline, and then take another test drive, go from there. Oh my God, that's just amazing. So stay tuned for more. Okay, a little bit of backlash check. And we have that much movement, which seems a bit excessive to me. You see that?
Yeah, but that's not, you're feeling anything I used to before, but that's not, hey Dave.
I asked him already.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said it seems a little excessive.
Yeah, see, because it's the first, there's one in between there. That clunk clunk, there's another one in between there you're going to feel, and that's the backlash.
Yeah. And that's what I'm,
Yeah, that there.
that's it. And that's more than
It should.
12 thousandths, and I think 12 is like the farthest it can be. So now that we have the drive shaft rebalanced, it looks like it lost the weight actually. So far it feels a lot better as far as vibration goes. Vibration goes, so we haven't got that. So that's a good thing. That's back, but that whine is there, definitely on the drive side. The next thing I wanted to do is make sure that I took those slotted and drilled rotors off the front of my car, because I was getting a little bit of vibration as I applied the brakes. I had to really beat those rotors to death, so I put the stock rotors back on. Nice and smooth stops, no vibration. So that eliminated even more issues. So we've got a lot taken care of. The next stop is I got some noise, clunking in the right rear, going over to amp performance to take a look at that. Alright, off to amp performance. Talk to them about control arms. Take them for a little ride. See what we can figure out. Hear that? Did you hear that? I've been under the car a few times looking for it and picking on just about anything, and I can't find anything that seems to be loose or beat to death.
Well, it's a case of where you got to put a wrench on things.
That's the noise. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds like a shock.
Chris and I took for a ride and we heard the clunking. We tried one thing on the exhaust that didn't work out. They're going to take it in and put it on a lift and take a closer look. Well, we found the clunking going on. And that's the clunk. Boy, what a headache that's been. It's been getting progressively worse, so we're going to tighten it down, and we're all pretty sure that's going to be the extent of it. So we're getting real close to eliminating all the possibilities Ford could even think of that are causing my problems and the things that I feel in here. Well, we tightened a few things, checked a few things, found an upper control arm bushing that was going out. We're going to order some parts for it and come back later when the parts come in. Ordered up some lower control arms and upper control arm, an adjustable upper control arm, and the bushing that goes in the differential housing. We're going to get all that replaced, and then we'll see what's left after that. That'll be the final leg of this journey, and then whatever's left belongs to the differential and belongs to Ford. We're on our way to amp performance to get some lower control arms on the rear axle and an upper control arm. The upper control arm is going to be an adjustable control arm along with the bushing that goes into the differential housing itself. So completely new setup for the rear end.
Get them out of the way.
Alright. And then that bushing is going to be replaced, and then that whole control arm is going to be replaced. You read the instructions thoroughly, right?
Twice.
Alright, control arms in place, uppers and lowers. Feels tight, right? Well, right now I'm on my way to drop the car off at Ford to finally get that differential work done. I fear that the issue or the convincing part is not over, that I still have an upward battle to wage. But at least they agreed to take a second look, actually a third look, and we'll go from there. I'll be at Ford in just a little while. Okay, so I guess, hey, if you haven't subscribed to Doc's Boost, go ahead and take care of that right now. And leave some comments down below about some quirky noises that you solved and some of those unusual solutions. I know you got them. So put them down there. And get out there and have some fun, but stay safe and always buckle up. Hey, and thanks for watching. See you real soon.